Ken, please take us out of this.
I have another topic I wanted to get to, but it's a little. It kind of doubles down on the analytics and the new age baseball kind of thing. So I'm gonna leave that to the side for a sec and talk
I
about
love it.
a big trade that happened while we were gone. I'm gonna talk about Chris Sale to the Braves, and I'm just gonna set the table here before Ollie eats, because I know Ollie has probably a lot to say about this as a Red Sox fan. I'm just gonna say, when I first saw it, kind of surprised me. I did not expect Chris Sale. Chris Sale was not a name we did in their fake trade video. He was not a guy that was rumored to be going somewhere, so I was surprised. And then, again, the Braves are doing this gluttonous move repeatedly this offseason where they just take a bad contract and see what they got in them. The Red Sox, on the other hand, get Vaughn Grissom, who they desperately needed a second baseman. He's 23, he can hit the ball. I love this trade for both sides. I want to hear your guys' take on it. Chris Sale did sign an extension for 2 more years. The Red Sox initially ate $17 million of the deal this year as part of the trade, and then Chris Sale has this deferred payment thing going. So the Braves initially were only owed $500,000 to Chris Sale for 2024, but with this extension, that kind of gets thrown out the water. He's owed, I think, $19 million per for the next 2 years. Ollie, he won a World Series with you guys in 2018. I know he has your heartstrings. I want to hear your thoughts. Oh boy, did I make him?
This trade is relevant because in our fake trade episode, we went through a couple Vaughn Grissom scenarios, remember?
Mm-hmm.
We did Vaughn Grissom for Tyler Glasnow. Ken offered that trade. I rejected it. And now we've seen a real-life trade happen. Sale for Grissom. So it sounds like the Braves don't actually value Grissom quite as highly as you do. Or else the Red Sox were able to maybe talk them down, because this trade, it doesn't feel that even to me. It doesn't feel that even because Grissom is not a free agent until 2030. That's 6 seasons. So if he progresses to an everyday second baseman level, which I think most prognosticators think he will, that's potentially 7 seasons of team control for the Sox at the cost of, they're not even paying for Sale this year. So they've lost their last year of Sale and gained this much of Grissom. It doesn't seem that even to me. Obviously, the Braves are a team that can afford it because Grissom is blocked in Atlanta, so it makes sense for them. And so when you put it in the framework of Braves having a surplus of young infield talent, this is actually a great trade for the Sox because Breslow basically found his perfect trading partner, right? Because where else was he going to get a Grissom-like value for Sale? Nowhere. Nowhere else in the MLB was this trade possible. I'm still surprised by it. I still think the Braves kind of got the worst end of the deal here. But when it comes to losing Sale, let's just talk about that briefly. So, I'm a Red Sox fan. You know that Sale has only pitched, 30 starts over the past 4 seasons. But that doesn't negate what he did when he was here at first in 17 and 18 and 19. He was second in Cy Young voting in 2017, struck out 308 batters. 2018, Sox won a World Series behind him, and people forget just how dominant he was in that time. He had that ERA of 2.11 in 2018, pitched 160 innings. He struck out 14 batters per 9 that year, which is ridiculous. He was historically dominant with the Red Sox in his first 3 seasons, but eventually that arm gave out. And the arm giving out, the status of Chris Sale's elbow, is the most important question mark in this trade. The Braves are gambling on a guy who has not pitched a full season since 2019, a guy who is now 35, who at his peak was the most dominant pitcher in the game, arguably, but now is clearly past that peak. And he's pitching in a rotation that I guess has holes, but doesn't have that many glaring holes. I mean, compared to even compared to teams like the Dodgers. We were talking about Braves versus Yankees rotation last week, which was stronger. I'm not quite convinced that this was the best trade for the Braves to make. Maybe I'm wrong in that. Do you guys think this was a great trade for the Braves?
First off, I just want to give Ken a little credit because he made the comment, I don't know if it was last episode, about how the Braves have the ability to make moves like this. Like, they took a flyer on Kelnick, too. Like, listen, like, we can just we can just get these players, and no matter what people think of them, Kalnick, where it's the young struggling rookie, or it's Sale, the extremely injury prone veteran, like they can just take a flyer on any of these guys. And I think there's on the Brave side, I think there's a very good possibility Sale gets hurt because that's his track record. And I think what the Braves are banking on here is that he gets back for the postseason, and you have Sale to face guys like Freddie Freeman, Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper. Like that's the dude you want facing those big time lefties. In a championship series, right? Like that's the guy you want. So if Sale can stay healthy and not, let's say he's gonna get injured one time, right? Make sure if he's gonna get injured middle of the season, early season, be ready for the postseason, because that's when this trade will pay off for the Braves. And then on the Red Sox side, I just actually, this is still in the Braves, but I don't think with RC at shortstop that Grissom really had any at bats there. Like I just don't think he would have had many at bats. But in a couple years you could see like this deal being terrible for the Braves if Orlando Arcia is kind of like a fraud, which I mean he's a good ball player, but like I could totally see him like not being like good anymore in 2 years, and then the Braves are like, oh, what the fuck did we just do? We just took away a potentially generational infielder. But then for the Red Sox, yeah, I think this is a great deal. I mean, team control for 6 years, like you said, that's just crazy good. I kind of wonder what Trevor Story's deal is. Like, what's his deal with this move? I don't know why Grissom can't play shortstop. I'm not that familiar. Ali, do you know any info on that? Or Ken?
So Cora wants Story back at shortstop. Cora wants Story back at shortstop.
Okay.
That's where he's envisioned him ever since the Sox acquired him. He never liked Story at second base. And now that the Kike experiment and Christian Arroyo experiments are over, and we're still pre-Marcelo Mayer, they want to have a controllable second baseman, and they want Story to play short.
How pre Marcelo Mayer are we? Because I mean, we could see a middle infield for the Red Sox of Marcelo Mayer and Trent. Not Trent. Sorry, and Grissom, which would be that would be insane. Like that would be a great up the middle infield. That kind of scares me as a Yankee fan.
Well, how
far is Marcelo? What is he? He's 2025, 2026?
We're 2 years away from Mayer or Grissom potentially, but I also know that I don't think Ken thinks that much of that infield idea. And because I don't think Ken is as high on Mayer or Grissom as maybe even I am right now. So it's worth asking him whether he thinks that's worth it. Is that worth it? I mean, like in the post-Story era, if you're a Red Sox person, does Mayer Grissom make sense?
As a baseball fan, I think it excites you and it's interesting. If I was a Red Sox fan, that's not a route I would probably want to go down. Those two players are really extremely talented.
That's the opposite.
No, but hear me out. I think the Red Sox fans are highly competitive. They're used to having superstars all around the diamond. I don't know if they have the patience to wait for two guys who are super risky. They're super young, super risky at two premium positions in the
Yankee
infield.
fans waited for Volpe.
That's one position.
Same fan base structure.
Right, but that's one position. We had veteran superstars or stars or guys that were established in the league at other positions because we wanted to stay competitive. Like that's why Yankee fans are mad right now, because we had too many spots. Left field and shortstop was too much for Yankee fans to wait on, to have young players there. And to have shortstop and second base waiting and praying on two guys that are highly talented, but like I think it'd be a more Red Sox move if they traded Marcelo Mayer for a superstar. Like that's a Red Sox move right there.
Honestly, yes. That's more characteristic of how the Red Sox have operated in our lifetime. But two things. One, I think this is a new era of Red Sox management. I don't know what John Henry's going through at this time in his life, but I'm guessing his financial situation is not what it was 10 years ago. And so, it's the paradigm is shifting in the Red Sox high decision-making process. So for the first time, we might actually see a situation where they gamble for multiple seasons on two guys like Mayer and Grissom, who, like you said, are unproven. I wouldn't say they're high risk because they don't really cost anything right now. They're not. You're raising your hand. Go
right.
ahead.
No, I would also like to say, but like with that being said, I could also see a scenario in 2 years, Grissom has already established himself as a established second baseman in the league who can really hit the ball. I can see him going out there next year and having a 120 OPS plus, and being like a Gleyber Torres type offensive player by the time Marcelo Mayer comes to the league, and that makes sense. Then you wait for more Mayer because his upside is crazy.
And Trevor Story moves to where?
He'll be gone. He'll be gone. He should be gone.
He'll be gone?
He should be
So
gone.
that's another terrible signing by the Boston Red Sox again. Yeah, I mean, that infield. I mean, maybe you move Trevi. Like Trevor Story to first.
Whoa.
Oh no, you got Tristan Casas there. Never mind. You literally can't do anything with him. Maybe DH him.
No, I think
He's too good of an infielder.
The greatest thing you can hope for with Story, the thing you can hope for, what I hope for, is that miraculously he'll have an amazing first half one of these seasons and get traded.
And they trade him.
I'm hoping
Dude,
for like
that's-
3 months where he goes off and
Oh,
then
God.
he's gone and we get a good reliever back. Like that's fingers crossed for
I
that.
don't have enough fingers to count the bad moves that the Boston Red Sox have made over the last 5 years.
To be
Starting
fair,
with
though,
Mookie Betts. It's incredible how many shit moves they've made. It really is.
yeah. To be fair, though, I did love the Trevor Story signing for the Red Sox when it happened. I'll be honest.
You did.
I thought
If
he
it
was
doesn't
gonna
work,
be
it doesn't
incredible
work.
in Fenway. No,
If it doesn't work,
I
it
agree with
doesn't
you.
work. But remember, we didn't want Trevor Story. Yankee fans didn't want Trevor Story. I feel like we had a feeling coming from Colorado. No,
Little bit,
no,
yes.
We wanted
Okay.
Seager. We wanted Seager.
We wanted
Story
Seager,
was the
Correa.
backup, and everyone was kind of like everyone at the time was like, Red Sox get Story, damn it, but that's a lot of money, and I don't know. Like it was kind of an I don't know situation. You know that.
Yeah, no. Can
It
I go
wasn't-
back to
it
the...
wasn't
Here's
as-
one more thing about this.
All right, let Ollie finish.
One more thing about the situation, real quick. So, the one asset that I liked about Story was his defense. He was a Gold Glove caliber player in Colorado. Grissom grades out as right now. He grades out as even below mediocre defensively. He's barely functional as a second baseman right now. Mayer grades out as a
second
top
baseman?
shelf defender. But the Red Sox need a second baseman who can handle that position. They haven't had one since Pedroia. And that's maybe one of the thought processes behind keeping Story for now, or behind like the idea that went into signing him was thinking reliable defense and middle infield for a while. But if he's hurt, it doesn't matter how good he is at defense because he's not going to be on the field. So moot point.
Very true, Ollie. Very true.
I just want to go back to the... Sorry. I just want to go back to the Brave side for one last comment here, because I have an idea, and it is going to sound crazy at first, but just hear me out. So I believe Isaac kind of teed this up for me, but I believe there are two teams right now in all of baseball. Whoa.
What? What was that?
Oh,
I believe there
Happy
are two
birthday.
teams in baseball that can do what I'm about to say. Pick up a player and just say, get them healthy in the playoffs. And I think that's the Dodgers, and I think that's the Braves. And I think Chris Sale is one of these guys. Isaac kind of said this, but he's a guy that you need just healthy and ready to go in October. And even if he's not built up, Isaac said this as well, but having him face lefties like Freeman, Isaac didn't mention Ohtani, but Ohtani, Schwarber, Harper, these guys. What is it crazy to me to say that? What if Sale starts every game of a playoff series and goes 1-2-3 and he's done for the day? Like,
I mean,
Why not?
If he's coming back from injury and he's not built up, that's like a great idea. Like just the arm, he doesn't even have to be pumping. Just the arm angle alone, like dude, it poses such a confusing at bat for the big left-handed hitters. Like it's Chris Sale is actually special, and he used to really bother me.
Ollie doesn't
when
like
he's pitched against the Yankees. We're hyping up Chris Sale. What do you? Oh,
no, it's
right,
not that. It's
because now
not
you
that.
don't
It's
have
just
him.
that I hate that version of baseball. I hate the version of baseball where you have a guy pitch the first inning and start every game. Like I hate that version of baseball. But what they could do is have him pitch the seventh every inning, 5 games in a row. It's not that different. Like the stakes are higher.
Okay,
sure.
now you make him a reliever. Like,
Yeah. I mean, do that. But I just
Andrew
hate the
Miller.
idea of. Yeah, it's true. That's great.
Yeah.
Don't have them start though. Like, come on, have actual starting pitchers. You can
But-
you can afford that. Let's play baseball.
But by starting
Let's
him, you
play
can line him
baseball.
up. You can line him up 1 Schwarber, 2 Trey Turner, 3 Harper. You get two of the three lefties, and we move on to the next game. We
They're
start it
never
all
going to
over
do this.
again.
They can't
Think
do
about
this.
this.
They're
You
never
can
going to
line
do
that
it.
up.
They can't do it.
Think about this though.
No, they're not
They-
going
they
to do
could
it.
not
They could
And they
start
shouldn't
bench
do it.
players. They
Take
could start
realism
bench
out this
players
for
for
a
that purpose. Like imagine.
It's not realism.
They're perfect-
Realistically, I don't think Snicker would do it. I don't think that's his mindset.
I know, but we're talking about a fictional world where what if this is possible? I think it might be a good idea.
I wouldn't want you to manage my team, man.
All right.
Honestly.
We gotta move on.
Ohtani
We gotta move
Freeman?
on. This is like the Central last time. Like we were stuck in the AL Central last time.